Get this set up real quick. Alrighty. Um, Sorry about that. Alrighty. Good afternoon. Good morning. My name is Antonio Chavez Jr. Um, my role in this presentation was the summarizer. So let's get started. So the passage that was provided was divided into three chapters. So each title will have its own subheading, such as chapter one, chapter two, chapter three, and so on, so on. So let's get started. Rhetoric and dialect. Chapter one. Rhetoric versus dialect. Rhetoric is a form of thinking that pertains to the audience with specific ways and critical thinking. Dialect is a form of speech that most people use to attack and defend themselves. Chapter one continued. End time. An end time is an argument statement in which the writer or speaker omits one of the reasons, does not clearly state it, or simply suggests the reasons. It is also important to determine when an end time is being used because he who does can learn the subject matter and in what respects differs from the syllogism of strict logic. Steps of effective rhetoric, chapter 1N. Step one is to obtain solid information on the subject or I'm sorry. Step one is to obtain the solid information on the speech or topic. Step two, use the information not in a straightforward way, but in a persuasive way. Step three, the information used needs to be one-sided yet have strict reasoning. And step four, the use of persuasive speech is more effective rather than using physical force, for words hold more power. Main components of rhetoric, chapter 2. Ethos, pathos, and logos. Ethos depends on the personal character of the speaker. That meant to say speaker, typo. Um, Pathos is putting the audience into a certain frame of mind, and logos is persuasion by using factual information. These three persuasive techniques are the most effective ones that have always been used in rhetoric and in anything that goes for speeches, um, like even right now, presentation, trying to persuade you that my presentation is good. But yeah, you can use these types of these methods to use them in anything and in any form of speech or talking, even if it's just a small talk, which makes it like the main components and really, really effective. Next is specialties of rhetoric. Chapter 2 continued. Persuasive speech is only effective when targeted to a specific audience. Emotion is key to persuasion, and truthful information always grabs the audience's attention. If you are not pertaining to the audience's views or what they're looking for, then your persuasion is not going to work, and whatever you try to conveying will not get to them. However, if you do give a more promising resolve or a more promising speech or thesis or whatever you're presenting, more than likely you will persuade the reader to, you know, or the reader or listener, depends on how you, if you're writing it or saying it in a speech, you can persuade them to be on your side or to agree with you on a specific matter. Ingredients of effective persuasion, chapter 2N. The three means of effective persuasion is reason logically, understand human character and goodness, and to understand human emotion. And then it is important to always note that persuasion is only achievable by the speaker's personal character when the speech is so spoken as to make us think him credible. Like I said in the last slide, if you're not pertaining to the audience in a specific way, specific manner, specific tone, you're just not gonna get them to be on your side, or you're just not gonna, get whatever you wanted to get out to make either a statement or prove something. Divisions of speech. Chapter 3. Rhetoric falls into three divisions: speaker, subject, and person address. These three main things are all main components that also like make up rhetoric. You have the speaker who obviously is speaking, and them themselves are putting their own characteristics to it depending on the audience. And then you have subject, which also depends on what you're talking about. It could be, you know, politics, it can be over something as little as a game opinion or anything like that. And then you also have the person address. I think that one is the main one, because if you're not addressing the right people or the right group of people, you're just not gonna get your whatever you're trying to get through out there, or try and convince people what you were trying to get them to agree on with you. So yeah, the role of the listener play. I'm sorry. It's because my little screen's in the way. Uh, the role the listener plays in a speech, chapter 3 continued. The hearer must be either judge with a decision to make or an observer. Now, this is also really, really, really crucial, because when you were talking to people or somebody, you know, as a speaker or as someone in general who's just, trying to have a conversation, you either want somebody to listen to you or you want them to make a decision. It's never in like an in between type decisions. So it's up to the hearer, or it's up to the hearer or the reader, or whatever form you're doing your speech in, that it's important that the hearer is deciding on either if you are right or wrong as the speaker, or they're just listening and observing and not really saying much and just letting it happen. The three divisions of oratory, chapter 3N. The three division of oratory: political, forensic, and ceremonial oratory of display. These three things I would say are the main components of what speech is, and rhetoric. Because for political, we see it even now today, especially with the presidential elections, and forensic, that's more pertaining to like statistics, getting more in detail with numbers, getting more in detail with either location or geographical areas. It depends. And then you got ceremonial oratory, where it's just like you're pertaining to people that so it's easier to persuade them, and it's easier to like get on a specific level. Audience questions. What does rhetoric mean to you? And do you think that persuasion is key to everything? Audience questions answered. What does rhetoric mean to you? The way that I think about it is that rhetoric is the study of speech and how you utilize it while speaking or when reading/hearing it. And then as for the second question, do you think that persuasion is key to everything? Uh, I put it for as the answer, persuasion is the key to everything, because without it, there would be no way to come to terms on any topic, either big or small. And that was the end of my my PowerPoint. I really hope you enjoyed. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.